Howdy do, it's time for Spider and Old Scooter again. It's the Root Canal edition of Spider and Old Scooter. We'll get into that in a bit. We're here to play Spider Solitaire. The one we do play and we do love and endorse and talk crazy about is the one that comes on the Macintosh. I don't know, I really should, after recording hundreds of these games, figure out who the publisher of this game, maybe even who was the principal programmer on this game. But anyway, this is the game you got here because I really like it. Play it all the time, waste time with it. So let's waste a little time. We'll go to a new game. Well, see you guys. That was Spider McGillicuddy, the dreaded Spider Mac. I just covered up her face rather rudely. She's still there. She's hiding. You can get little quick glimpses of her between the bars. Watch this new game. There she was for a second. And we'll play the Two Suits version with a disclaimer and a acknowledgement of superiority about Four Suits. Not my game. Well, let's just get started by seeing what's obvious and playing it. Those things are not always concurrent, you understand, with me, but anyway, not a lot happening here on the old first deal. I guess I could see what these threes would do. That's a 1 play, 2 plays, 3 plays. I count the plays, and you take them back, bap, 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 costing you nothing down here in the nothing meter, and try the other 3. Yeah. What did I just think? What happened? That's it. Another jack. That's 1 play, 2 plays, 3 plays, 4 plays. This is now the winner, boys and girls. Just on quantity. I'm not smart enough to know which is the better strategic setup, but 4 is better than 3 in my simple-minded book. SMB, they call them. What you got in your simple-minded book today, Scooter Pie? All right, take another deal. Face it, there just wasn't much in that first hand. These sorts of things, if I really needed that ace, I'd do it in a minute. I could play that ace down here. It's kind of long-shotty, but since it's cheap, let's see what another black 7. You're so mean over there. Let me speak directly to Spider Solitaire. Spider Mac. See her? Isn't she cute? Alright, before you read all my files. Okay, boys and girls. Still not much happening. This is one of those games that just sort of drifts along, sort of denying me moves. Kind of a mental cruelty process that I subject myself to. Oops. I could have undone that and got my dollar back by the rules I live by, but I won't. Because I'm impatient. Impatience is a mostly unproductive vice, except some of the times it's the source of ingenuity. I've always thought that boredom was one of the great motivating drivers for creation, invention, all that. You know, they say necessity is the mother of invention. Well, I would say boredom is perhaps the crazy uncle of invention. Because when people are bored, they by golly come up with something. Not always great, but usually gets rid of the boredom. You're probably bored with my uninspired play here, but hey, I'll take the first inspiration that comes along, I promise. I did this, see, then I have this little string to play with. Sure, why not? So there are moves. My lips literally stuck together then. That'll mess up an M. wasting moves. I'm using a line I really like in the book one of the books I'm currently writing. Now, I'm pausing to think whether I should speak of this particular thing. I'll think about it. But anyway, I do have to have, see these two little sort of whiter than average teeth I've had? Those are crowns. And I've had them since like 1966 or something. That's a long time for a crown. And I now have had an abscess under one of the roots that those two crowns are mounted on. So my dentist went in there and, laying back and all that. And worked for about 30 minutes and decided he couldn't do it. He had to send me to a root canal specialist, which I'll go see in a few days. Oh dear. As much fun as a root canal. That's one of the most accurate sayings of its sort. What is it, an aphorism? I don't know. I've never quite known what an aphorism is. I'll have to look it up again. You know stuff you look up 20 or 30 times over your life, and every time you say, oh yeah, I remember that, and then the next time you have to look it up again. I think that's getting worse as I get older. You know, I call this crazy endeavor sometimes Twitch for old people, based on Twitch TV, where the guys playing the games are playing these super hot, high-resolution, incredible graphics novels on games' shoes. Novels on games' feet, I think is the way I would say it. So this is Twitch for old people who like or play or don't mind watching somebody else play solitaire. They played solitaire at my house when I was a kid all the time, with real cards, of course. This with the finger on the touchpad is a whole different trip. And people of all ages still play solitaire a lot, I read. So anyway, I do. The other reason is kind of the root canal day is the news is very root canal-y. Jared is lawyering up. Yep. And he being a rich person, he got the best white-collar lawyer in the world, I hear, who is currently defending a lot of white-collar miscreants. And the Supreme Court, the Supremes, relaxed the injunction on the travel ban. Basically, fixed it so all the kinds of people who were stuck in the first travel ban, you saw all those TV reports of all those poor devils, of the interpreter from Iraq who had moved his whole family here and he got stopped at the airport, and the people who were trying to rejoin their family, and the people with green cards, and all the people who thought they could come to America, they got stopped. Well, the relaxing of the injunction will now make it okay for them to get in, but to stop everybody else. So we'll see how that goes when the Supremes revisit it in October. And Trump's blaming Obama for the Russian thing. That's what he always does. He always, whatever you're accusing me of, I accuse you of it. Worse, more. Reverse the charges. And Tillerson and Trump are contradicting each other all the time. That's sort of fun to watch. But that's the other reason this is the root canal version of the game. That's root canal news. Can hardly stand the pain. I also don't feel much pleasure here. Wait, did I see something? Did I see something? Well, not really. I can do this, and this, and this. So I guess I did see something. It's not going to accomplish much, but it's more fun to move stuff than not, right? See, I keep thinking that will go somewhere, and it won't. Well, it will, too. That's the AutoMove app. And if you don't like where it takes you and you take it back, you have to pay $1. You have to actually accept the charge for that move. Whereas most take-backs you don't have to are undos. Undo your undies before you do what you do. Well, oh, there's one. See? If you could just reach across through time and space and tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, Dodo, there's a move," that would be so cool. See, here's one. And I do advise my fellow oldies to play slow and, look things over 2 or 3 times, overcome your game night blindness. Had a great day today. Tiny bit of rain, a little shower. Sort of a dust settler. But cool down right now here in late June, middle of the summer. Great portions of the country are suffering from extreme heat. It's 58 degrees in the mountains of New Mexico where we live. And it's probably only 68 or 70 down in Albuquerque, but 15 miles that way. It's a lovely place to live. Economy here is totally rotten, but like we're 49th in everything. Cured grown toenails, 49th. Poor state, but it is a beautiful, lovely place if you're employed or if you're retired successfully or if you're not stressed and strained by this rotten employment situation we have. It's a great place to live. One of my friends got fired recently, and when you get fired in an economy with few jobs like in New Mexico, it's a big deal. You have to contemplate leaving those 58-degree evenings. Well, see, if I did that, then I couldn't use this, so I won't do it. And I'll just declare defeat. You always hear about declaring victory. You never hear anyone declaring defeat. But I do declare, I think I'm defeated. I do declare. By the way, I had homemade, with buttermilk and lard and all that, cornbread the other day. My sweet wife cooked it for me. Wonderful. None of that mix, that has sugar and monosodium glutamate and glutathione monomate and all that stuff in it. Just egg, milk, buttermilk, a little lard, bake it till it's brown. I put a big wad of it in a glass and then pour milk on it and then eat it like cereal. Oh, good southern food there, my friends. And with that, I think I'll go to the kitchen and find something to snack on. Thanks for attending. See you at the next game.